Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. I hope everyone had an absolutely awesome weekend, and I'm up today with surprise creation. And there's a few items, and there's one in particular which may surprise you, and I'm going to show that one to you first. And it's this. It's a stamp platform. So if I swizzle it that way around, that's the correct way for opening the lid, and you've got your measurements. So let's get this out of the wrapper and take a good look, and then what I will do is share the die haul with you, and then we're going to stamp using this platform because we've got to check it out and see how it works. So there it is out of the wrapper. Right, now just put my packaging down for a second, and if I go up here you can see it's got a nice little sort of corner piece where it opens. I'm going to get my ruler. One of the nice things you've got here is you've got centimeters, so if you're somebody that's always wanted to work in inches and centimeters, then these measurements are there, and I am just going to make sure that those measurements are correct, and there you have it. 1 inch is exactly 1 inch, so the measurements are absolutely spot on, and I believe the centimetre measurements will be too. But to prove that, I'm just going to get my centimetre tape measure. Right, now this is the thing that I use all around the house and for doing various bits and bobs, and it's inches and centimetres. So I'm just going to grab this because I want to make sure that it's absolutely correct. Right, let me see that. It is. The centimetres are absolutely measured correctly, and the inch measurements are absolutely correct. Right, so we've got that bit, and we can see the thickness of the platform, I hope, if it's not too blurred under my camera. I am going to get my inch ruler and do that. And it is, let me have a look, 1/4 of an inch thick. So it's a good thickness. So we've got our corner piece, and we've got a little thumb notch here, which is quite nice. You can get your finger in. So that is what the platform looks like. You've got a butted up edge here. So that's really, really lovely. And of course the measurements are there telling you it is 7 1/4 inches square. Let's have a look. No, I got that wrong, didn't I? No, I'm supposed to be going from there. It is a 7-inch platform because you've got to take into account that you've got your doodah here, which is where your paper will slot in. So it is a 7-inch platform. There it is, 7 inches. And then in that direction, it is 7 1/4 inches. That's where I got it wrong. It's because I twisted it around. So it's a 7 by 7 1/4. I'll move that up so you can see it. You've got just a little bit of space there. Now, is it magnetic? I don't know. So I have got some magnets. Hang on a sec. So this is me showing you just how organised I am on a Monday morning. And my magnets are stuck to a paper clip, and I do that on purpose so I don't lose them. Right, so it's not a magnetic platform, but it is a stamping platform. So right, we've looked at that, and then I will pause after. I'm going to grab a stamp set and some cardstock and an ink pad, and we're going to stamp using that and see what we get. Right, and next up we have frames, and I'm always saying it because Surprise Creation is known for her frames. Some of them are large and some of them not so large. This is a large set, and it's the rectangle and it's hearts. I'm going to measure these in a second. I've also been sent the squares, and they too are hearts, and we have the ovals, which are hearts, and we also have circles, which are hearts. And now I'm going to measure those. Right, the circle, you're going to need an opening mouth on your machine there of 7¼ inches. And then the ovals, the longest part of those is 8 inches, and then going by 6½ inches. So that's how big the mouth of your machine needs to be. And then on the square, we have 7¼ make sure that they're a square by 7¼ and then on the rectangle we have 8 inches, then going across that way we have 6½ inches. I do apologise if my camera's going blurred there. I'm going to try and get it back. I don't know what your weather's like where you are, but we actually had snow here the other day. Not actually here, but I know it was in the Florida Panhandle. Right, next up we have love, which is a pretty little stacked word, and then you've got this gorgeous tiny little flourish that will go with it. So you could put the flourish inside of the O and off the L and just basically decorate that up how you want to. Now I am up with projects from these tomorrow. That's 2½ inches high, and if I go from that bit to there, we are almost 2½ inches wide, and then of course you've got your little scroll. Next up, this one a little bit late, but then having said that, you could use a star ornament all year round, because you could cut a little heart in it, you could just have a star shaker on its own, but the little hangy bits are just great, and I'm pretty sure that's my bow. He's looking at the FedEx guy, and the FedEx guy is not for us, but he's still going to bark. And that is the hanging section. I completely lost my train of thought there. And you've got 2 snowflakes. So Christmas, star shaker for birthdays or for the 4th of July. And just really, really cute. And cut a heart into it for Valentine's Day. You know, you're a star. Really like that. And I do think this one is a Nicole design, looking at that hanger. And if I go across cut line to cut line, that is 4 inches in that direction. And 4 inches again. So it's a 4-inch star. Really, really cute. Right, next up, really sweet and good all year round, a set of balloons. Now you could cut many apertures if you've got lots of little circles or something into that, and have all kinds of critters popping out of your balloon, but it's just a great size, and it's going to leave you a stitched aperture, and it's going to leave you a stitched die cut. So in-out stitching, that's what I call them. And that is almost 5¾ inches to its little tied bit there. But another thing that you can do with these, and I'll try and do it for the projects tomorrow, is if you die cut in not too heavy a cardstock, you can use your the balling tool that you use for shaping your flowers, and just go up and around the edge so that you're forming more of a 3-dimensional balloon, and then put some foam pads underneath so you've got something that looks a little bit 3D on your project. But I just think those are really, really cute. Really like those. Love that it goes all the way to the teeny weeny one there. Right, so that's those. And then last but not least of the dies is mine, and I just did a set of strips. So you've got hearts, you've got circles, you've got diamonds, you've got little starbursts, you've got full-size stars, and you've got a chevron. And I've done them like this because, of course, they're great for trimming cards. They're great for trimming off little pockets if you'd like to do die-cut pockets or envelopes or anything like that. And just little, you know, journaly type things, card type things that you can just put anywhere. But I think the heart one is going to be very useful for Valentine's Day. And then that one, because you've got the star within the stripe sort of thing. A few of those on a card for the 4th of July. But I really like those. I mean, Halloween, if you've got any of those, oh, what are they called? My brain just keeps going to sleep on me. Those googly eyes, yeah. You could drop little googly eyes in, couldn't you? Yeah. To go with my zombie gingerbread from the other day. It just makes me laugh whenever I think about that. I mean, to do the one thing you're not supposed to do with a paint pen, and that is to squeeze it when it's on your project. Right, these are 6¼ inches, and then the width of those is, let's have a look. Ooh, I think they're 5/8. Yeah, 5/8 of an inch. So they're a really lovely size, and I will use those tomorrow. I just keep thinking about my gingerbread's eye. My hubby's got it hanging up in his truck. I knew that he would. Kind of like tormented me. When we got out of the truck, it's just swinging around in the breeze. Yeah. Right. I thank you so much for watching. Yes, I do. And as usual, all links are below. And I'll be up tomorrow with projects from these. Have an awesome day. Yeah, and I'm back because I forgot to stamp. You see, this is what happens when you make videos really early in the morning. So I'm just going to go and grab another coffee and a stamp set, and I'll be right up to do some stamping. So I'm thinking it might be a good idea to change my channel to the crafting blooper or something like that. Right, I've got a scrap of white cardstock which I'm going to place in here. And I'm very glad that the lid didn't touch my camera. So I've butted it up to there. Now, as I said, this is not magnetic. Whether you could get one of those locker sheets from Dollar Tree and glue it in there, that might be an idea to make it magnetic for you if you need that. And I've got a set of stamps, which I'm sure I've shown you before. You can't get these anymore. So, you know, this is just for demo purposes only. And I haven't even used them yet, which is absolutely disgraceful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the big Nelly, and then let's have a look at lettering being stamped. So I'm just going to get that off there, and hopefully you can see. And I'm going to place it about there, so if I want to turn it into a tag afterwards, I can. I've got plenty of space to do it. Right, let's give it a squeeze and see if it's going to pick Nelly up. And it has. Nelly is on the lid. Right, I'm using VersaFine Clair. And I'm just going to tap that. Now this is quite a fine line and delicate stamp, so you know you don't want too much pressure because you don't want a thick line. I'm just going to rest that there for a second, and I'm just going to press it gently. Now normally on my stamp platform I use the Tim Holtz, and I use a 2mm fun foam from Walmart on the base, which ensures me a nice crisp stamp. But let's see. Wow, look at that. I've got to pick that up because it's a really fine and delicate line stamp, and I'll show you that by putting my finger in. That was a perfect stamp first time. So that's impressive. I might be leaving this on my desk. Right, let me take Nelly off and let's have a look at words, because words are always difficult, aren't they? Even on a stamp platform, we can sometimes put too much pressure and squish them, or do you know what I mean? Or not enough pressure, and then you've got gaps and you've got to keep stamping over until you end up with something darker and thicker than you really wanted anyway. But let's have a look at this. Let's see if we can get true to our stamp, and down we go. Just let that rest a second again. Just a small amount of pressure with my finger here. I don't want to over squish it. And let's see what happens there. Right, we can see I didn't put enough pressure on that bit. So I'm going to go down again because I can see the ink is still there left on the stamp. And let's have a look now. Wow. What can you say? I'm really impressed. Look at that. Really crisp. All That little like sort of dotty error in the S, that's part of the stamp. It's like a sort of wonky lettering. But if I can get up real close there and put my finger in so you can see how fine those lines are, that's stamped really, really beautifully. I'm really impressed with that. Honestly, I am. I'm going to try and do a corner now. So I've got my stamp out. I'm going to, where am I going to put it? I'll put it there. Let's see what happens with that little piece. Shut the lid, pick it up. In with the VersaFine Claire again. Stamp is stuck again. Right, now what I have done there is I've got ink on the lid. Can you see that? It's all over the lid. That's my fault, of course, for bending it, but I've got a piece of kitchen paper here. So it's important to wipe things like that off just in case they do transfer to anything that you're doing. And it did clean off. So, right, let's close the lid and see what we've got now. Just a little bit of pressure and see what happens, because I do know that stamping for a lot of people, it can hurt their hands, but look at that. And that's a really, really delicate line stamp. Let me get that out. Let me get a clear picture. If I hold it still, see how close we can go. There you go. And I'll just put my finger in there so you can see just how delicate the line is on that. Wow. Yeah, I'm impressed. What can I say? I'm going to leave this on my desk. I most certainly am. Because it's a lot smaller than my Tim Holtz stamping platform. So, you know, it's not going to get that much in the way. And it doesn't have a really thick fingerprint either. How it would stamp with rubber stamps, I'm not sure. But I will come back tomorrow and we'll have a go. I'll find a rubber stamp and stick it in there and see what happens. Because, of course, rubber stamps are very thick because they're on that cushion background. Right, impressed. Yes, I am. And apologies for my errors. I'll try and wake up and drink more coffee in the morning. Right, once again, I hope you have an absolutely awesome day. Thank you so much for watching. And as usual, all links below. Bye.